This is the freestyle way.
I love it. And you said dysregulation. The first time I heard that term was probably in 2014 when I became a foster parent.
Oh,
That was the first time I learned about this, and it was heavily related to attachment. And yeah, I could go deep into it, but I'm curious if you could help us understand, what does dysregulation or regulation look like in terms of behaviors and also in terms of feelings. I think a lot of people struggle to connect with their bodies and the sensations that are coming up, and thus having emotions and relationship to emotions that maybe are signaling not the wrong thing, because I think the nervous system, as you say, is actually doing the right thing all the time, but we're interpreting it maybe what's the right word? Not wrong way, but poorly.
yeah,
That's the best term I can find. Help me find
yeah.
words, please.
Well, so this system that lives inside of us, that lives inside of every mammal. And I like to always say that because I think humans, we can tend to think we're so superior, but really we're just animals like all the other beautiful mammals. And this system inside of us has two options. It is the option to put us into regulation, what you named, or something called dysregulation. Now, regulation only happens when our nervous system thinks we're safe. So the cool thing about this autonomic nervous system, it has something called it's called neuroception. It's a threat detector. Lives in our brainstem. Every millisecond of our lives, like your precious child, it looks out into the world and it says, is that safe, dangerous, or life-threatening? So anything we ever encounter, it is sussing that out, which is so brilliant that it can do that. Now, the way that it decides if any given moment of my life is safe, dangerous, or life-threatening is by looking to an internal database in our brains that we all have. And you can think of it like a computer system. Like that example you gave, your foster child, who in their database, they had a lot of information in there. Every lived experience they ever had. I have it, you have it, everybody has it. So we don't have to remember all those things. They're all in there. That means that the beautiful, wonderful things are in there, the loving moments, also the hard moments, and also the really dangerous stuff is all in there too. So when the threat detector looks out into the world, it's saying, okay, like right now I'm having this chat with you and my threat detector's hearing your voice and it says, what intel do we have on voices like that? And my system, I know it likes the sound of your voice because I feel good with you. So my system must have looked to that database and said, oh, that's safe. That's good. And in a moment, if it decides I'm safe, it allows me to go into what's called regulation. It's called our ventral vagal complex. But when we're here, again, we only go here when the threat detector has said we're safe. And I really believe it is the thing that we are all searching for and we don't even realize it. That we cannot have the full happy life we want without experiencing predominantly regulation in our nervous system. So when we're here, we experience things like presence. We're actually here in this moment. We're not in any other moment, but this one. We'll notice things in our body or feelings in our system, like feeling open, expanded, curious, available, silly, playful, in wonder. We feel like we can just be ourselves. We'll notice sensations like ease in our body. We've got just the right amount of energy, not too much, not too little. We'll notice that we feel really connected to everything around us. People, nature, because humans want to be connected. We will notice that we feel warm in our body, not overheated, not cold. The tension will release in our bodies. And it's really like the porridge isn't too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. Everything is just right when we're here. Even if there's life things that are happening, because there's always life things that are happening, there's this feeling like there's going to be enough time. It's going to work out. I'm not in a hurry. It's okay if these things don't get complete because I'm okay. And this is how we step into the bigger life we want. This is necessary for healing. This is what actually results in our healing work. And it's what's necessary to live the lives we are desiring. And then when we're here, the most ordinary moment, we don't need a lot of stuff when we're here. The most ordinary moment on today's a Thursday, I can just go outside and say, The air feels really nice. The grass feels nice. That squirrel's pretty cool. That's it. I feel really contented to be here. And so it is really the answer to not only what healing brings, but happiness. Now, for those listening, if you're saying, that sounds like something you can only feel when you're on a beach in Fiji, but I can't even feel it when I'm there in Fiji, I'm still not relaxed. Just know that makes sense. And the reason is because the way that threat detector works, as I mentioned, is it has that database that it looks to. So if and I have quite a serious complex trauma history, not very different than a lot of children in the foster care system probably had. I was abused and neglected as a child for a very long period of time and lots of other stuff too. So for most of my life, guess what was in the database? A lot of experiences of people were dangerous. They hurt me. I was not safe to be myself. As a child, there was nobody there. So when I was trying to self-regulate, which you can't self-regulate as a baby, I couldn't. So it was like terror. It wasn't safe to be seen, to use my voice, to receive, to belong, and so on and so forth. So that meant as I went out into the world, there's a lot of people in the world. And everywhere I went, my system said, oh, people are dangerous, especially men, because I was abused by men. Men are dangerous. Connection is dangerous. Using your voice is dangerous. Being seen is dangerous. Being relaxed is dangerous. And so as the result of that, the way that threat detector works is it's not looking for perfect matches. It's looking for similarities. So there was certainly a time in my life where I would meet with you, Carl, and my threat detector would say, oh, man, he's going to hurt you. And I wouldn't feel relaxed with you. I would feel tense, on edge. I would feel like you wanted something from me or wanted to harm or hurt me, which is not true about who you are at all. But you had one match. You were a man. And so that's the way the threat detector works. So in a millisecond, it superimposes the past on the present. And it thinks that even though you're this wonderful, safe man, it thinks that, no, he probably isn't based on what I have in the database. So as the result of that, that meant for me spending most of my time not in regulation, but in what's called dysregulation, because my system was saying, you're not safe. The world isn't a safe place based on this database I have. And so when we experience dysregulation, I like to think of it like, not even, this is what neuroscience actually says it is, it's active self-protection. So it's not that my system is broken, dysfunctional, or malfunctioning. It is actively working to keep me safe. And there are three predominant ways, only three, that we can experience this. And they're called states. So think of it like an experience. And there's, of course, lots of range in these experiences. But one of them is called our sympathetic nervous system. And when our threat detector thinks we're in danger, but it can do something about the danger, like, I think I can fight back, I can get away, I can do something here, we go to this place. And I'm going to try it on for people. So you're going to hear it in my voice, and someone's probably going to say, she's talking too fast. I don't like how that sounds, but I want you to hear it and feel it in my body. So when we're here, this is all about mobilization. So there's lots of energy in my system, kind of like I'm exploding with energy. And it feels like there's a ticking time bomb in the corner of the room. There's not enough time. I have to do it now. If I don't do it now, things are going to be okay. My thoughts are going to be racing about how I have to prevent against the bad thing. Maybe the person's mad at me. Oh my gosh, they didn't text me back. Should I text them again? Maybe I should. If we don't get this fight back in order and I'm not connected to you, I'm going to die. I'll notice that my heart is racing. There's tension in my body. I have tunnel vision. I literally can't think about anything else but this problem at hand. I'm going to notice tension all down my spine, heat in my body. A lot of time we can have TMJ when we're here. Migraines will happen. There's butterflies in my stomach. I feel like I can't sit still. I just need to move. But when I solve one problem, there's just another problem that comes around. Like, you're like, I have to get to all these emails today. And your partner says, I thought we were going to go for a walk. It's 5. And you're like, but I have to do these emails right now. And they're saying, well, do you really? And your system's going to tell you, yes, you're going to die if you don't do the emails now. Everything's going to fall apart. You don't check your bank account again. So this is all about the mobilizing. Do. This is where anxiety, worry, frustration, fear, terror, rage all live. This is what capitalism is actually built on. Do. Produce, go. And when we're here, we have a difficulty slowing down. Even on the weekend, you can't fully relax. That's all a clue of being in that state. Now, we have 2 other options I just want to briefly give folks. Another one is called our dorsal vagal complex. Now, this is the opposite of that mobilizing. The mobilizing is like, I'm running away from a cheetah. I got to get away. I got to go, 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 go. Now, when our threat detector says, whoa, the danger is so big that I don't think we're going to be able to make it out of this. When I learned this about our nervous systems, I just thought, like, I can't believe we have something inside of us that loves us this much. And it literally says, my darling, I can't make this stop and I can't get you away from it. But what I can do is I can help you leave your body so you don't have to feel the perpetual pain of what I can't stop. And I just hope for everyone listening, as I'm about to explain this system to you, this state, that you can see how loving that is. Like, even when people have given up on you, like your foster child had people for sure give up on them, that their nervous system didn't. It said, I've got you. I'm here. I will never let you down because I love you so much. So when the threat, especially, in childhood, let's say, was happening and I couldn't get away, maybe I was chronically bullied in school. Maybe my caregivers were preoccupied and they were so busy with other things they couldn't tend to me. Maybe they were dangerous. Our system says it is too much to be with that perpetual activation or trauma, that energy in my body. It's too much. So we're going to help you leave your body so you don't have to be with this. And so in the wild, every animal does this. It's so brilliant. Like the zebra that's about to be eaten by the cheetah, its system, so it doesn't have to feel the pain of getting eaten alive, it helps it to leave its body so it doesn't have to be there for it, which is just so cool. I spent a long time here. So this is all about energy conservation. It's the exact opposite of what I just described. It's all about the shutting down. Think of it like a bear hibernating. So when we're here, and I'm going to show this state so different, this is all about leaving my body. So it's like the light switch is turning off. When I'm here, I notice that even if I slept, I feel tired. This is where apathy lives. Like, I just don't care. The things that would normally light me up, they just don't matter. I start to feel far away from people in the world. Even though I'm deeply alone and I feel lonely, I feel so far away. I just want to curl under the covers and hide. My thoughts are going to be much slower, but they're all going to be intense. Like, it's too late for me. There's something so wrong with me. This is where shame lives. I'm bad. I'll never amount to anything. I can't do this. The relationship is hopeless. We'll feel numb in our body, so not connected to our feelings at all. We might notice that we feel weightless, like we're floating above ourselves, not really have a sense of our bodies. Difficulty making eye contact, difficulty talking about anything, avoiding things. Our senses are muted, so everything will feel fuzzy or even like gray. Very hard to say hello to people in the world. We start to feel depressed. I said hopeless, incapable, unable. This is where dissociation lives. It's all that shutting down. And then very lastly, we have one last state we can go to of self-protection, and it's called freeze. Very, very common one that's often misunderstood, but it's a combo state. So imagine we're combining this intense sympathetic energy, go, 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 with this shutdown of dorsal. So we've got this hibernating bear met with this running cheetah. They come together. They're two equal and opposite forces. So intensity met with like a steel wall. And so what this feels like in our bodies is I have all this energy inside, but I'm trapped in it. So I have everything I described with sympathetic, there bursts of energy and tension in my body, but I can't mobilize and do anything. And so a couple simple examples of what this can look like. Let's say I get a text from a family member who I have a complex relationship with, and they write something, and I notice that I feel this activation around it, and I sympathetic, like, oh, I have anxiety, but then I avoid it. I'll do that later. And then I think about it all day. Shoot, I gotta write that person. Now I'll do it later. And then I think about it all day, and then I don't do it. Or like your bank statement gets emailed to you, but you just don't open it, but you have anxiety about it, but you can't do it. More extreme example. Let's say you're like, I'm going to step into my purpose. I'm excited about it. Your nervous system will actually let you feel excited about it until you mobilize towards it. So it's like people do that in a relationship. They're reading a romance novel or watching the show. Oh, that's so exciting. But then the moment I actually go towards it, my nervous system says, don't do that. So let's say starting a business. I sit at my computer. I'm like, okay, I need a website. I need this thing. Oh my gosh, someone else has already taken my idea. I'm not going to be able to do it now because they're taking my idea. It's too late for me. Who am I anyway? And I have all this urgency, but then I feel shut down. Like I can't do it. There's too much to do. I need to take a nap. No, but I have to do it. But I can't. But I have to. But I can't. But I have to. But I can't. And then I go organize the toiletry drawer in my bathroom because that's something I can actually do. But then I think about this all day, and then 8 hours goes by and your partner says, how's your day? And you're like, I did nothing, but I'm so exhausted. That's freeze. So most of us are living a life predominantly in one of those 3 states of dysregulation. And it's all because our nervous system doesn't yet know we're safe.